Hello, ladies and gents. Today we're going to be going through email marketing, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about why small businesses like yours should be using email marketing and the benefits to using email marketing. This is me. My name's Claire Payne. I've had a 20-year career in marketing. I have worked in corporate businesses, but probably not sort of the Pfizer likes, but I've worked in large businesses who have exported natural and organic hair colour and hair care across the world. So I've been responsible for leading the marketing globally for those businesses. I worked for a company that you may know called Dimplex for quite some time. I was product marketing manager there, the only female product marketing manager that they had up to that point. So that was and then I left all of that behind in 2018 when I decided to go out and become co-owner of a marketing training company, which I exited in 2022, and now I offer consulting services. But primarily, I work with a lot of actually property investors because I have another business which is serviced accommodation, so Airbnbs and property. So I teach other serviced accommodation business owners how to do their marketing and how to market their businesses. I'm an NLP certified practitioner. I don't actually practice it, but I did it because I was working with people and mentoring, and so I thought it would be a helpful tool to have in my kit. As I said, I'm a serviced accommodation operator, and I am a wife to Terry. So Terry and I have been married since 2008. I've got a 12-year-old daughter, Summer, who's in year 8 and drives me around the bend, but she's wonderful. And then I've got a lovely bulldog who's 8 and greets me and loves me more than anybody else in my family, and his name's Khan. So that's a little bit about me. So what are you going to get from today? Well, I'm going to teach you why email marketing is still, why it still has an important role to play within your marketing and sales funnel, because email marketing does get a bit of a bad rap these days. People do kind of feel that some people feel email marketing has had its day a little bit, because we do get a lot of emails. I don't know about you, but I've got multiple emails for different things, and I have some going in there and some going in there. But I do have people pop up in my inbox that I don't unsubscribe from because I'm interested, but I'm on the peripheral, and they might come to my inbox one day with something that I think, oh, that's interesting, I'm going to have a little look at that. So it still has its part to play within your marketing. It's just how you go about doing it. There are some businesses that benefit more from email marketing than others, and people do get concerned that they might be causing a nuisance of themselves. But like I say, email marketing is one strategy within your marketing system that you have to leverage, and we're going to go into depth on that today. Before we do, though, I just think it's really important to just really remind you: is everybody familiar with a marketing funnel? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Okay, fine. So I just wanted to show you kind of a typical marketing funnel. So the whole point of what we want to do when we are marketing is we want to create awareness of our business, let people know what we do, and create exposure for our business. We want them to become interested in us. So we want to make sure that we're using our marketing in a way where people can find us relatable, and actually we can pique their interest. Then we want to create this desire. So, people will have needs, they have challenges, they have wants, they have desires, and it's our job within our marketing to show that we are that piece of the jigsaw puzzle that they're looking for. And then action is obviously the sale. It's them actually saying, I want to work with you, or I want to buy from you, that kind of thing. Now, there are funnels within funnels. So if we think about social media is its own funnel. Email marketing is its own funnel. Networking is its own funnel. If you imagine, you have all these little funnels across the top here, and they all feed into this larger funnel, and they all play a different role at different points of this funnel. But email marketing is such an important one because we use it not only to generate sales, but we also use it in our customer experience, we use it in our customer relations, we use it to create advocacy. It expands across that entire funnel. The reason we have to be really, really mindful as well of our email marketing is that when somebody comes to us, when they first hear about us, or they first see you in social media, for example, or they first see you at an event, they are less than 10% likely to buy from you, because it's like going out on a date with somebody and then getting down on one knee asking them to marry you. That doesn't happen. You have to court people. You have to build that relationship with them. And email marketing really, really helps you to do that. So, as I said, we've got social media, networking, recommendations, referrals, sales calls. They're all sorts of things that we will do to leverage this funnel, to make this funnel work, so that when we put people in the top, they come out at the bottom. PR and advertising. But email marketing, it really allows you to build these deeper relationships with people. And it is an over time thing when it comes to using email marketing in your sales funnel. So emails are a really useful tool for reminding people about bookings and, reminding people where they've got to go, or, just general communication. But actually, when we're thinking about how we use email marketing to drive sales, it is an overtime thing. It doesn't happen overnight. You have to be prepared to put the work in. But the beauty of it all is that with a lot of it, you can automate it and you can build it once and then press a button and let it run. So although you might have to front load a lot of your time, you can actually then let it run. And then when you're running another campaign in your business, say you're launching a new product or a new service, or you're going to be at a new event or whatever it might be, then you can literally lift and shift your sequence and just change the clothes, change the information, the narrative that's within it. So this is why it's really good. And you can make it very targeted and you can make it very personalised. We are very fortunate that we live in this digital world where there are loads of different softwares like MailChimp, which you can personalise your communication. And you can do lots of different segmentation as well with your audiences. So you can put people into different little buckets. So if somebody came to you and said, I'm really interested in wedding dresses with fishtails, or I'm really interested in poofy wedding dresses, or I'm interested in red wedding dresses, which I don't know if people do, but they might do, then what you can do is you can segment your email list so that you can tag, we call them tags, you tag them and you say, interested in red dresses, interested in fishtail. And then if you particularly, let's say you're overstocked on your fishtail dresses and you want to get rid of them, then what you can do is you can have a tag that says getting married 2025 fishtail, segment your audience down and send a specific personalised communication saying, you're getting married in 2025 and you're really interested in fishtail dresses, check out our latest collection. And you can really then niche down. So when you're going to your events, you can make sure you capture that sort of information and afterwards personalise the communication. And that goes for the same for any business. So it supports your funnel because it does all of these things. So number one, keeps you top of mind. So all of those nuisance inboxes, emails that you get in your inbox, and I'm sure you've got things that pop in there, maybe a magazine newsletter that you've signed up to, or somebody that is selling a training course or something like that that you've found interesting at the time, and they might send it to you at 12:33 in the afternoon, right in the middle of a meeting, and you're like, oh, I'll look at that later, but you never get around to it. But it sits there, you don't get rid of it. Every time another one comes in, it's a reminder. Oh yeah, I did see something really interesting, but I haven't had a chance to look at that. So keeping you top of mind, better than somebody else down the road, being remembered. So it's keeping top of mind, it's building familiarity because people will come, they know your name, just like your brand logo, like, Nike, let's think about Nike, we know that brand logo. People will start to recognise your name when it's popping up in their inbox. It helps you nurture prospects, it helps you create interest, develop trust, drive action, because the more familiar somebody is with you, the more they trust you, even if they haven't actually met you. So that's really that's an interesting thing. So as I've said to you, some people will say that email marketing is dead because of overcrowded inboxes, because of social media influence, because of really poorly executed emails. People feel like they're getting spammed, they're not getting the value, and just really, generally people sometimes feel a bit overwhelmed from their inboxes, but we will explore this because, in my view, the truth is that And this isn't just my view. This is actually some research, market research, that's been done by the likes of HubSpot and Statista and all these other organisations, that it is still one of the highest return on investment channels. But it does depend at what point you are using it and how you're using it. It's very cost effective. It's a lot cheaper than social media advertising, even if you do have to pay for a subscription. It can be automated so that it consistently nurtures relationships. It can be highly targeted and personalised, which we've touched on, and also it supports your omni-channel strategy. So omni-channel, that means, you know, multiple channels, all the different channels that you use. You can link your email marketing off the back of social media activity. You can link your email marketing off the back of your networking activity, off the back of a purchase that somebody might make with you. You can use your email marketing to support all of those other elements of the marketing that you are tackling in your business. And it's easy to scale it. So, you know, it doesn't matter how you put the numbers in. You can segment it. You can send out 1,500 emails in a minute if you want to. You can send out 20,000 emails in a minute if you want to, once you've perfected it and you've set the system up. It really is, though, your prospect's guide to knowing how to do business with you, what you're all about, and how you can actually take that next step to work with, or how they can take that next step to work with you or buy from you. So, I just wanted to put a little bit of context about how email marketing might work around these different levels of the sales funnel, just to kind of give you a bit, because it's all well and good me telling you about this funnel, but how would you use email marketing to create awareness? Well, you might use it to introduce your brand to new leads with welcome emails and newsletters. So for businesses, Jürgen, it might be that you want to find those email addresses of people within those businesses and just send yourself a welcome email to send them a welcome email to introduce yourself. Everybody can do that. You can engage your leads by sharing valuable content like guides, tips, case studies. I'm going to talk to you about those in a little bit more detail. You can build interest. People are more interested if they feel like you're talking to them on a one-on-one level. So by being more personalised, you know, giving them the benefit of your knowledge and experience, that kind of thing. Testimonials, product showcases, and then to drive action, sales messages, offering discounts, really strong calls to action that let people know how they can go about buying from you. And then we've got afterwards, this retention, because it really can help you continue with that relationship with your customers. So nobody wants to buy something and then never hear from you again. If they've bought from you once, then they're 5 times more likely to buy from you again. So you can give them updates on what's going on. You can give them new offers. You can tell them when you're bringing new products or services to market. And advocacy, because, you know, if you have got happy customers and you're emailing them and you're staying in contact with them and you're showing them that you value their custom, they're more likely to encourage other people to want to buy from you, or it's all right, I can't hear you down here, or you know, leave their reviews, share their experiences, that kind of thing. So what are the ways that small businesses can use email marketing? Well, there are lots of different ways. So following up on proposals. Now, who here sends proposals, or who plans to send proposals or quotes, things like that? Yeah? Okay. So, you know, instead of you actually following up on the phone or following up on, you know, a manual email, thinking, oh, I sent a proposal out a week ago, I must remember to follow that up. If you set up your email marketing process so that when your proposal goes out, you tag that client and they know, and you set it so that in a week's time, they automatically get an email to follow up, then you can do that so that you don't even have to think about it. If they do follow up with that proposal and they do contact you, you can stop the email. But if you know that it's something that you're not very good at, say you put 6 proposals out and you need to make sure that, you know, you're really busy and you want to get those followed up, but then you can take the personalised approach and you can actually just do it, you know, yourself. But if you want to automate it, onboarding new clients, this is a really great thing. You know, when it comes to onboarding, somebody can book. If you can then get it to trigger an email, or you go into your email marketing system. This person's booked, pop them in there, give them a tag, and it automatically then trigger an email sequence. But not only that, if you've got, say a few dates in advance and, say it's a month away, you can send them little reminders so that they don't forget to turn up. And it's just really great customer service. Promoting new services. So, en masse, telling people what's going on. But we can't be ignorant to the fact that we send our one email about a new product or service and everybody's going to read it, because the likelihood is that they won't. It will sit in there. So you can set up email sequences over a period of time to remind people and tell them the benefits, drip feed them the benefits of what's coming. So you'll often see businesses with coming soon emails and things like that. New season coming, here's what you can expect, that kind of thing. And I'll talk to you a bit more about how you can load your emails up with value so that people find them interesting and they read them a bit more. Sharing news, and like I say, it comes back to how well you know your target customer. The more you know about them, the more you know about how they speak, what they like, where they hang out, when they read their emails, what kind of things are trending that might be interested in, all of that kind of stuff. The more you know about them, the more stuff you can put into your emails. Then obviously, sending reminders. I use these a lot because I run webinars and things like that to attract people to come and learn things from me. And I don't have time when I'm saying, right, I'm going to put this webinar on, I want to make sure that all of my reminder sequences are set up so that I maximise the people that are going to show up, and I don't have to remember to do it manually. So it's all done in that moment. And then once it's built, I can just then rinse and repeat it every single time because I just duplicate it. Running promotions, so very similar to like when you're setting up a new product, you would remind people when your offers start and when they can buy and when the offers are going to run out, that kind of thing, because people get busy and then you say 1 day to go, don't forget to buy, don't forget to get 10% off. And then building relationships, of course, which we've touched on. I want to talk to you about a new customer onboarding process because, as I've said to you, I have a serviced accommodation business and I teach other I'll use SA for short, but I teach them how to do their own marketing. And so I use email marketing for my onboarding process because I use a system where people can log on and they can pay online. And I use a system called Kajabi, which is really great if you ever run online courses, but it has all these facilities in there. And what happens is, this is just a little snapshot of a couple of areas of my homepage on my website, but they can go to my website, they can click on this little button down here, and once they've clicked on that button, it takes them to a checkout page. This checkout page here, once they've done that and it says sign me up, it is set up to automatically trigger and send them a series of emails. So they'll get a great, you're signed up, congratulations, you're going to get another email from me in a moment which has all of the onboarding information that you need, and embedded within there is all of the dates for the mentoring, things that they need to do to join the Facebook group, how they access their library, when they need to come for their welcome intro to the programme, Zoom session, that kind of thing. So, here it is. This is a congratulations, you secured your place. So that immediately, as soon as they've clicked sign me up, that goes to them. And then just shortly after, they will get this one. And I tell them in that, you're going to get another email from me in a moment, which is going to have all of the information in it that you need, because I want them to know that it's a long email and I want them to thoroughly read it. So I'm signposting it in this shorter email. And then what I do from there is I have, for every cohort of people that join this programme, I have preset emails for the dates that they're due to come along to their mentoring, and I have reminders of when they need to get in and they need to actually do certain things on the programme, or when the new module's been released, because it's a 6-month programme. And at the start of every cohort, all of that is automatically set up with all of that information, and it's all timed on a trigger. And I don't need to worry about when people are going to turn up. I know that they've all got their links. I can remind them. So every time we have a mentoring session, they'll get told at the beginning of the week that this is happening. Then they get told the morning of that it's happening. And then they get told 15 minutes before, don't forget. So that I can maximise the number of people that turn up and, one, get the value, but two, so I'm not sat there for an hour and a half on my own with just one person, So when you're onboarding new people, and it works in any scenario, it's just literally thinking through logically, what do you want people to do and when, because you can get it all completely automated. And when it's done right, it can also help you nurture sales, which is what we want to do. So it all starts with your CRM, and we have touched on your CRM, your database. Just to put some context around CRMs, and they are, I think it's around 40 to 50% UK businesses, particularly smaller ones, are not strategically focused on growing their customer databases. So not actually, the more people you have in your database, the more potential cash that is for your business. 40 to 60% of UK businesses aren't leveraging their CRM and the data to its full potential using email marketing. This is specifically small businesses. So, there are all those reasons that we've spoken about: time, knowledge, actually wanting to, those kinds of things. Or they're all realities. We'll often actually gravitate as small businesses to social media because we know that's something we should do. But email marketing can sometimes just feel a bit more of I'll do that later, because it is a bit more involved. You've got to sit down, you've got to really think about the customer journey and what you want to say to them. But a full database does contain lots of money. I guarantee you, for those of you that do have customers on your database, that there will be people there that are ready to spend money now or could be ready to spend money very soon. So it's your job to fill up your database with prospects and also then to nurture them into customers. And this is where it gets juicy, because this is what we want to do. We want to create more business, and we want to do it as easily as possible. People aren't just going to join your mailing list, though. You need to offer them something valuable in exchange for them wanting to get close to you. And you've got to make sure that it does meet their needs and their interests and helps them in some way. And that comes in the form of lead magnets. This is a definition, which I got off ChatGPT, funnily enough. A valuable resource or incentive designed to attract and engage prospects and encouraging them to join your mailing list or enter your sales funnel. I've got a whole bunch of them here. Discount vouchers, free audit, webinar or online event, case studies, top tips or ebooks, newsletter sign-ups, trials, demos, discovery sessions, pre-recorded trainings, low-cost offers. Lead magnets are generally free or low cost. And the reason that they might sometimes be low cost is because if you're spending a little bit of money, you've got a bit of skin in the game, and it shows that you're just that little bit more committed and interested, because people aren't going to part with their money at all if it's not remotely of interest to them. So sometimes it is beneficial to do maybe a low cost offer, or get 30 days for £10 instead of £50, so those sorts of things can work really well. Like I say, I do webinars, I have discovery sessions, I use those. Waiting lists as well, they're another good one. You talk about this fantastic thing that you've got coming up, you create a bit of anticipation around it, and you say, join my waiting list, so you make sure that you don't miss out on this fantastic opportunity, because I'm using scarcity here and I'm only going to let 10 people benefit from this. So you get people in the door that way. So there's all these things that you can use, and you can get really creative. But don't do like some just A4 piece of paper which has got a couple of bullet points on it, because that's not going to get you the results that you want. You've got to think of these as something that people would actually spend money on, even if they are for free, because you want them to think, if I'm buying this, or if I'm getting this for free, what am I going to get if I pay for it? So give you an example of a lead magnet that I've got, because I want to, obviously, my end thing that I want to sell is my course. So I've got a Mastering Marketing in Your SA Business, an introduction to marketing fundamentals, implementing marketing tactics, and ready-to-use templates. So useful templates to help prep and polish your marketing. Because in service accommodation, there's loads of things that you have to do, like checklists for your cleaners, and making sure that you have the right sorts of emails going out to your guests when they leave, so that you get a review. So I've packed a few things in there, which I've actually stripped out of my course because they're already there. And it doesn't matter that I'm going to reinforce it when they go into the course, but they're going to find value in that, and they can sign up for that. And then hopefully they'll give me their email address. So I'm sure you've all got something like that that you could create. I want to share something about lead magnets and another reason why they are beneficial, not just in the email sense. If somebody bothers to download your lead magnet or shows an interest in it, then they are expressing their interest in you and your service. So that is another beauty of it. But for you, what you might want to do, Jürgen, is what you've just described. You might want to find people on LinkedIn that you can actually go into their inboxes, their DMs, and say, you're in this industry, we've created this, we think you might find it of interest. You can gate it, you can put it behind a wall so that they have to put their email address in so that you know of the people you've given it to who is actually showing an interest in it. You can look through your list and you can say, yeah, that's somebody in LinkedIn that I've sent it to, that's somebody in LinkedIn I've sent it to. So you've got your lead magnet, but then what? You've got to then start pushing it through your marketing channels. So we've all got marketing channels: social media, networking, sales calls, PR, advertising, referrals, clients, customers. They are marketing channels that we can leverage, events, that kind of stuff. Once you've captured the data by pushing it out through your marketing channels, so you've got your lead magnet and you're going to then say, get my lead magnet. They go and they get your lead magnet. You've done the marketing, they get your lead magnet and their nice, lovely, hot name in your database, which is what we want. Here's an example of one I did when I launched my cohort, joined my pilot cohort. It was a new program that I launched this year. This was the email that I pushed out to get people to come along, and I did a whole series of different emails and things like that across the channels and the groups and stuff that I'm in over a period of, social media posts over a period of time. How many times do you think I've said the word email today? Literally everything's email. Then once they've clicked, so when you click the see more, there's a little link. When they click the link, I've asked them to come and discover more about the pilot session. So they can register to come to the discovery session, and that's an online event. And then following that, they get this email that says, thank you for booking my discovery session to find out more about the pilot of my program. Here are the details when you've got to turn up. And from there, what they do is they get reminders. Now, I haven't put it here, but let's imagine this is where the discovery session happens, yeah? And I've got half the people that have registered have turned up and half of them haven't. So what am I going to do? I'm going to go into my email database. I'm going to go to the tags and I'm going to find everybody that had signed up to those discovery sessions. And everybody that came is going to get an attended tag. And everybody that didn't come is going to get not attended. And I'm going to have a sequence of emails that goes out afterwards that says, sorry you couldn't come. I recorded it, watch the playback. And then I'm going to have another email that's going to say, did you watch the playback? What did you think? Have you got any questions? And I'm going to, over a period of time, concentrated effort of emails over the course of the next couple of weeks to try and get them engaged and have another way of bringing them back round to having a conversation with me. And it might be that I've already planned to put a second discovery session on because I think, right, well, something's happened, they couldn't come. So I'm going to keep hammering the door because they've expressed an interest in my discovery session and I don't want those 50% to walk away. So I've got a sequence of emails all set up because I know that people aren't always going to come, and I'm going to plan out well in advance what it is I want them to do. Now, they're going to still be some people that resist, they won't come. I find their addresses and go around and knock on the door. I don't do that. Then they return to your data pool. And then this is where the nurturing begins because they're in my database for a reason. They've signed up to one of my lead magnets. They've come towards me when I've positioned it, when I've put something there. So somewhere along the line, they're thinking about their marketing. They must have a serviced accommodation business or be thinking about serviced accommodation because it's quite niche, or they're spying on me so they can steal my material, one of the two. But that's fine, I'm good with that. It doesn't stop there. You need to then build an ongoing relationship with them. Okay, so how often are you emailing your database with valuable content? I know the answer to this because we've talked about it. But what sorts of things might I then continue to email them with over a period of time until I'm ready to position my next offer with them? I might get them to see my monthly newsletter. I don't actually do a monthly newsletter because I'm not a fan of monthly newsletters for what I do. I think people find them boring. I'm a one-man band. I haven't really got a lot to share, and they see me on social media. But what's on? I do like to share my what's on. If I'm doing a webinar or I'm, going to an event or I'm doing a keynote or something like that, I like people to know what's on in case they want to come along, and I'll promote other people within that because they might be interested in them rather than me. And that's a good way to get them in so that maybe I can make them interested in me. Market news, so I could maybe share some of the latest tips and informational things that are going on in service accommodation and new ways of marketing their business. The new blog, they're really good things to share. You're putting it up on your website, so get it out to your database so that they don't miss it. Latest offers, industry changes, that kind of thing. So if there's any changes to GDPR legislation perhaps that might impact how people do email marketing to their guests, then I might share something like that. So, when you think the average person gets 121 emails a day, you've got to make sure you stand out in their inbox. These sorts of things can really help you do that, providing you construct them and you create them in the right way and they're timely. And it all comes down to how you give the value. Okay, so you've got to think, and again, as I've said before, is how much you know your customer and what they value. So when you're speaking to people about your business and what you offer, remember the questions that they ask you. Because if they're asking you those questions, then it's likely other people are thinking them. But those questions, you can also pop them into Google and see what comes up, because what also happens is it comes up a bit further down, other people ask, and you can see some of the other questions. Now those things make for really great value content that you can send out an email. You can construct blog content, you can send emails out, a day in the life of, things like that. So a woman I used to work with used to do something called a Friday Thought. She did it so consistently for such a long period of time that there would come a point on a Friday, if it hadn't gone out, people would say, "Are you sending one today?" So that's when you know your email marketing's working. So share valuable and interesting content. So give you an example from a service accommodation business owner perspective, how to create a strong service accommodation brand, 5 top tips for getting direct bookings, how to photograph your service accommodation for maximum impact, 20 listing optimization tools. And these are really good, 5s and 20s. It makes it feel consumable, so it doesn't make it feel too overwhelming. You can scan through and see what you're looking for. 20 things you can do to get 5-star reviews every time, because that's what everybody aspires to, because the more good reviews you get, the more bookings you get. And 10 free guest communication templates. People are lazy, they don't want to do it themselves and they don't know what to always write, so I'm going to take the pain out of it for you. Those are things that people will find valuable and they will want to utilise. So I'm likely to get their email addresses from them. I can put those out as blogs, or I can put them behind gated content, but also they're going to be things that hopefully people will open and engage with and read, and it will just be something that makes them feel the love from me, so that when they see my name pop into their inbox the next time, they'll get that warm fuzzy feeling and think, oh, what she sent me last time was really interesting, I might make 5 minutes to read that. And it's got to be done consistently. Okay, that's the number one thing. If you're going to start it, don't stop it. So if you feel like once a week, so I've got an example here. Let's imagine you've tagged somebody new in your audience. My discovery session people who didn't come, they've been tagged as not attended, so they start down here. I might decide I'm going to send them something every single week. But you might decide that's a bit overkill. You might want to send them something every 2 weeks. I've got clients that send us something every 2 weeks. I've got some clients that only want to send something every month, but they do it consistently. And the beauty of that, and there's a format, there's a layout. You know, if my clients are sending something once a month and it's a monthly roundup, then there'll be a format. And it helps because people often will skim read. So just like when people are landing on a landing page of your website, they'll only initially take in about 28% of the text. If somebody's on the go, they might just skim through. So you do have to think about the construct of the emails that you send as well. Is it boring? Is it going to take too long to consume? Use bold, use colours if it's relevant, use bullet points, section things off into paragraphs. Don't make them too laborious. Give them buttons to click through to the next piece of information. But make sure that, you know, it's easy for them to consume. But value, sell something. So it might be, you can get away, the rule I go by is like 20% of your messages can be sales and the rest have to be value. So 1 in 5 of your messages could be a sales message when you're nurturing somebody. And I think that's really the same for email, for social media as well. Unless you're in a campaign. If you're in a campaign which is maybe, I don't know, campaign can be a week or campaign could be 3 months. But with a long campaign, you do value, position the sell, value, position the sell. It just depends what you're working up to within your marketing and what it is you're wanting to position. So if it's a new collection, it might be this season's designs and, here's some lovely pictures of our brides in this year's latest collection. And then it might be, ways to accessorise your dress. And then it might be, come in and get 10% off our next collection, for example. So value, sale, value, sale. And a sale doesn't always have to be buy this entire thing. It might be a small splinter of what it is you sell. It might be a conversation. I'm giving up my time to 5 people to talk you through your pottery woes. If you keep having a collapsing inward vase, I'm going to give you a 20-minute free presentation on how to stop that. But you've got to sign up because I'm only doing it for the first 10 people. And then they come along and then, you sell to them your big thing. But the beauty of all of this is that it can be completely automated. So as long as you know what the end goal is, you can preset everything up. And then when you come to do it again, you then just dress it up in new clothes. So how do you do it? Well, most CRMs, I've just put a few there, but we've got Zoho, obviously we've talked about, but Capsule is one. Kajabi I use a lot. I've used Keep a lot. It used to be called Infusionsoft. MailChimp is a firm favourite. I like that. I don't like it since they took away the high five the monkey. She used to have to touch the screen. I used to, when they go, your email's been sent, high five the monkey. HubSpot, that is expensive, the marketing one. But, some of them have a free level, some of them have a free trial. But I think about what it is you want it to do for you and then buy it. But like I say, you can start off with MailChimp. The only downside is you do have to pay for automation with MailChimp. The sequencing of emails. It gets more expensive the more subscribers you have. And I hope you found that really useful. Great questions as we went through as well. And if you want to put me on your mailing list, you can just put claire@clairepaynemarketing.com. And by all means, let me see what you're putting out there. And then I could maybe send you a few pointers.
Thank you.
All right? Thanks, guys.